to another edition of Game Changers.
Live on my 3-3.
That's right. No gang signs, Bo. Let's keep it classy. We're on television. We're on television now. We're not exactly on just the web anymore.
There goes Taylor Swift.
Uh-oh. You better go get her. That'd be the get of the century. Yeah, Mike Cugno.
Travis Kelce a little too strong for me these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to worry about him. Mike Cugno alongside the one and only Bokamper. We are here in Kansas City for the Dolphins Chiefs Super Wild Card round. I'm not sure when they added the super in it, but it feels pretty super. That's for sure. Of course, everyone wants to get to the Super Bowl. That's what this stage of the season is all about. We're not alone, though. Our partner in crime, Steve Goldstein, after leaving us last week to go to Vegas, to go to Vail, he's finally back in the mix.
Setting all over the country,
and of course,
internationally.
Right, and of course he's back in the sunny South Florida, sending me videos of him by his pool today. We don't have to get into that, Goldie, but we do have to get into this game. Guys, I think it's really interesting that Mike McDaniel all season has, maybe starting with the Chiefs game in Germany, has gotten out ahead of the narratives, even calling them out in the media, saying, we know what happens if we lose this game, we know what happens if we win this game, what the media is going to say. They have an opportunity tomorrow to change the narrative. Will the narrative change on the Dolphins, or will it be they can't win the big game if they can't get it done tomorrow in another playoff situation against another playoff team?
I'm afraid to say if they don't get it done, that narrative will stay the same. The only way to change that is for them to pull their pants up, go out there and beat this football team. Forget what the weather like. It's going to be miserable for everybody. Block and tackle, do the right things, and work at this game. Don't let anything get away from you. Don't get distracted by all the stuff going on with the heat on the field and everything. Just go out and play the best you can. I think this offensive line is going to play really well. I think the running game may be the key to this football game. A-Chan could take us a long way in a game like this. I think this game's going to be won by the offense. I do. And I think that defense is probably going to be like holding on for dear life because boy, I tell you what, they're dropping like flies, man.
They certainly are. And Goldie, to that point, with the narratives and the defensive players dropping out with injuries, are the narratives fair? Are people just not taking a full picture of this into consideration?
First question is why the heck you guys aren't outside. I mean, you guys are talking about the Dolphins, pulling their big boy pants up, and you guys are sitting by the fire on a night before the game. Take it outside.
When you're in Winnipeg, do you call the game from outside?
I'm willing to bet you're wearing shorts in the studio right now.
I got my big boy pants on. All right, the bottom line with the question is,
lemons on there.
You're 100% right, and Mike McDaniel knows this. Until they go out and do it, and the Dallas win was a good win, but then they lost to Baltimore, lost to Buffalo. I thought they had that game in hand, if not for the special teams and all that. Mike McDaniel knows that if they don't win this game, that's going to be the storyline for the next 7.5, 8 months until they get back on the field in training camp and in the preseason, the regular season, that how do you get over the hump? Because it's 2 straight years. Now, we all thought this year the way to get over the hump was to get that home field advantage for at least a couple of games. That didn't happen, but I do think tomorrow night, because it's so brutally cold, I agree with you, Bo. I think it's the great equalizer, the cold, and I think the run game and the mistakes, whoever does that better is going to win this game.
By the way, we should all definitely be mad at the Bills for winning that game, because Buffalo, including the Bills themselves, because Buffalo's got to play in like 65-mile-an-hour wind with a foot of snow. We could all been in Miami this past week if everyone got on the same assignment. All right, Goldie, this Kansas City Chiefs team, yes, they're the defending champs. They've won a couple Super Bowls under Patrick Mahomes, but is this version of the Chiefs very beatable?
Well, I think they are. They haven't been themselves all season long, and remember, they won that division because that division is terrible. I mean, this team got beat up by the Raiders at home a couple of weeks ago on Christmas Day. Travis Kelce hasn't had the same kind of year. Patrick Mahomes, they could have had a few more wins, but literally their receivers dropped victories, like big bombs at the end of games. So I don't think their offense is as good, but here's the flip side for everybody out there. Their defense is better than it's been. They shored up the defense. So, I wonder what Taylor's going to win. It's going to be 0 degrees. I always question that. But I'll tell you what, with this weather being as bad as it's going to be, -2 at kickoff, -20 with the wind chill, I think it's the equalizer, and I think it's going to be an old-school slugfest. And, Bo, you mentioned the offensive line. I'll throw in there the D-line with Wilkins and Sealer, the way they have played in this frosty weather. I do think if the Dolphins' big boys play well in the trenches, it's going to be close in the fourth quarter. They'll have a chance to win.
I think they've got a great opportunity out there. I think that, look, this team, they've just got to be physical and just go out and they can't worry about things. And look, you look at that Kansas City offense. Mahomes is not the Mahomes. He had a couple. He lost Tyreek a couple years ago. Couldn't afford him. He's gone. Now you look at the year that Kelsey's had. It's been a pedestrian year for Kelsey. Started off pretty well, but now he's not doing very much. Their wide receivers who do almost nothing for them.
Do almost nothing, and so many drops.
And their running game isn't that effective. So that offense is not. Wide receivers are dropping footballs, and Mahomes is getting frustrated. Look, how many times have we seen him down the sideline getting upset with his offense, getting upset with his defense,
getting upset at the refs, just yelling at people.
So if this is a football team that's ready to go down, it's like a tree that you're chopping down. I think that thing's pretty narrow down there. If you push it the right way, I think you got a great opportunity, because I don't think they're the team they were from last year back to about 4 or 5 years ago.
And we were talking about narratives a second ago. If the Dolphins are the ones to knock off this Chiefs team, a depleted Dolphins team, you talk about the narrative flipping over to Kansas City, and all of a sudden the national media and the attention's going, uh-oh, what's wrong with Andy Reid and company?
And look, and not only that, if they lose, they're going to lose players, because they've been winning games. They've been given long-term contracts, and eventually you got to start flushing some of those out. So this may be the last run for the Kansas City Chiefs in this decade where they've been really, really good, because that it happens when you win Super Bowls. It erodes your roster because of the salary cap, and the Kansas City Chiefs are in the middle of that.
No doubt.
Right now, the Dolphins, meanwhile, on the other side, where I think they got some opportunity to pick up some ground moving forward.
Yep, no doubt about it. And everyone wants to knock off the defending champs. But guys, I want to ask you, because as the playoffs start, as we get going, Goldie, I'll start with you. Super Bowl favorite. Do you have a team out there in the NFL that just kind of stands head and shoulders above the others, or do you think this is going to be a close postseason?
Well, look, the Ravens looked terrific against the Dolphins. They did it the week before against San Francisco. They've got the week off. They're rested. They have the home field advantage. I do think, at least in the AFC, Baltimore right now does have that separation. Lamar's playing great, and they're just a nasty team. Great game planning. The coach has been there before. So I do think the Ravens are that one team that right now has that separation. And, you can't forget about these bye weeks. It's huge. And remember, the Chiefs last week basically did have a bye week because they had that AFC West wrapped up, and they rested all their guys.
Yeah, I'm with you. You look at
Baltimore.
You look at Baltimore, and I think over the last 4 weeks, they've been a good team all year long. In the last 4 weeks, they have become a nasty team. A nasty team that wants to go out on the field and hurt you every single play. They want to humiliate you, and they want to hurt you. And I tell you what, their role, I never thought I'd see San Francisco, the way that San Francisco is going this year, to see them grind them down the way they did, unbelievable.
Yeah, you know what? At the beginning of the season, I was even tweeting that San Francisco looks terrifying.
Yeah.
And then you see what Baltimore did to them.
But look, early in the season, Philadelphia looked terrifying. And then all of a sudden, what happened to them?
They've certainly fallen apart. I think I agree with you guys, but can I throw a wild card out there? Maybe the Dallas Cowboys this year. It might have to be their season. All right, still to come.
Are you kidding me?
I had to do it for Leo Gomez, our executive producer. I had to put a big smile on his face.
Even Leo doesn't think they can win.
I was stressing him out all day with my flight. I literally walked in 10 minutes before the show started, so I had to give him a little
They're
love.
so bad. Leo's thinking about changing to the Panthers.
Oh yeah?
Those Carolina Panthers. Yeah.
Might have to a little closer too. All right. Still to come on Game Changers. We're going to look at a deeper dive at this Dolphins-Chiefs game. The Dolphins win this game how? We're going to answer that question plus much more when we come back.
Game Changers is sponsored by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Shop your 7 passenger favorites at VWFlorida.com.
welcome back to Game Changers. Yes,
why can't we get a fireplace in the studio?
You know what?
We get a fireplace and chairs like this in the studio.
You're the big timer here. I think you should make it happen. Yes, we're live in Kansas City right now. Mike Cugno, Kim Bokamper, Steve Goldstein in our CBS Miami studios there in Doral. Guys, we're talking about this Dolphins-Chiefs game. Of course, that's why we're here. But let's try to figure out how the Dolphins win this game. And yes, we brought the whiteboards with us to Kansas City. They made it out here. Goldie, I want to start with you. Fill in the blank. The Miami Dolphins win this game if blank happens.
Can I take 1 second before I get to it? You have all those clothes, gloves, hats, winter coat, and you brought the whiteboards with you to Kansas City?
Stop filibustering and get on with it. I know you're a little tired from all the Sam Reinhart magic from last night.
Let's go home, baby.
Let's get with the show, Goldie.
If you hold it next to your head, the wind you won't feel the wind. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, good luck with that tomorrow night, Bokamper.
In the wind tomorrow.
You try that. Let me know how it goes. All right, the Dolphins win if. Okay. I got a double whammy here, Cugno. They win if they get 125 yards on the ground and no big plays allowed by the special teams. It's hurt them the last 2 weeks. I got 2.
Okay.
Goldie, we share a brain. I'm going to have to jump you here.
That's
because
right.
I wrote 150 yards.
You're getting greedy.
I'm getting greedy. That's what I think the Dolphins have to do. Because, look, that Chiefs defense is the second-ranked defense in the NFL in terms of yards given up. But the one thing that they do struggle with is yards on the ground. So if the Dolphins could dominate the run game, hopefully Raheem Mostert comes back 1-2 punch.
In Germany, they handle Chris Jones pretty good.
Yeah.
So you got to look at that. You got that in your back pocket.
Absolutely. All right, Bo, what do you got?
Okay, I say because they ignored the cold that everyone's talking about, and concentrate on blocking and tackling, and that's going to help Achane get part of that 120 or 150
What is it, the fine print when you buy a car? What is it?
What are you, writing a book, Bokamper? What's going on there?
Can you read that from Miami?
What's he doing?
I had deep thoughts.
Well, you know what? I think if Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane both play, I think it's a good 1-2 punch. Because I think the cold will be a little bit of a factor. But the way Achane has been playing the last couple of days, what's he got? A touchdown each of the last 2 games. I think if he finds an end zone.
That kid looks so smooth running the ball. Looks like he knows exactly where he wants to go before he puts in his when they get in his stomach.
And I think it's guys, if you're with me on this, I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game. Like maybe the first to 21, maybe the first to 24 ends up winning this game. Goldie, what do you think?
Yeah, I got it in the teens. As you'll see, tomorrow on Dolphins Weekly Live in my spot from outside the pool in the sunshine. I'll give you my prediction, but
don't give it away.
Well, no, I'm saying that's I'm just letting you know that's the little tease for I'll make my prediction, but I do believe it's going to be a low-scoring game as well. Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's move on. I'm glad we agree. Goldie and I seem to be sharing a brain at the moment. Bo, team MVP for the regular season. Who was the most important person on this team in the regular season?
No doubt, it had to be the cheetah. Even with the fire, even with the fire, it's still because he's not only the most valuable player because he catches. Well, he's been dropping some lately, but he's got almost. He was heading on that record run.
Yep.
What is that picture?
Hold on, let me put it out.
That's his house on fire.
Oh, come on, Bokamper.
That's his house on fire. Plus, he was fast enough to get back to his house and put the fire out.
Yeah.
Keep his family safe. I love him for that.
Glad everyone's okay. Hard to disagree because the media did vote him, the cheetah, Tyreek Hill, the team MVP.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Who do I think it's going to be? Well, I want to get Goldie's because I want to see if he's quick on the whiteboard or not.
I am very quick on the whiteboard. And, Tyreek not only was the best player, first player ever in the league to go back-to-back 1,700 yards receiving, but he lifts up this whole team. His intensity, his desire.
No doubt.
Unlike Bokamper's picture, I did make a picture as well. It's Tyreek, but that's my version of a cheetah. It's the best I can do. I did not do well in New York City public schools at drawing, nor at Syracuse University, but that is my version of a cheetah, yes. Cheetah. Right there. Yeah.
I knew you were both going to say the cheetah. I wish I could see how poorly drawn that was.
Was it worse than mine? Was it worse than mine, Goldie?
Yes, much worse. But it's harder.
Terrible.
But hang on, it's harder to draw an animal than it is a house. You just made like a box with a triangle.
It's a burning house. You can do whatever you want.
He's over here drawing breaking news, fine print.
I'm looking for a house of filth to draw.
All right, mine is Christian Wilkins, and I know the Cheetah had a big year. I'm not taking anything away from him, but the way both him and Zach Sealer really disrupted everything up front in games where the offense wasn't clicking, even like last week, they always had a chance to win. Even going back to the Kansas City game in Germany, shutting them down in that second half, holding them to no points.
I would say I'm with you.
Yeah.
Most consistently good player.
Yeah.
Because Tyreek had a couple games that were a little, when he was dinged up a little bit. But Christian, steady Eddie, all the way, man.
He had a career year. Zach Sealer had a career
year.
Zach Sealer got paid in the preseason, so we'll see if they end up paying his.
Is he still living in the woods somewhere, Zach, or did he get a house?
I think he's got the whole Winnebago.
No, he doesn't. He got a house. He got rid. No, he doesn't. He got rid of the Winnebago. He's in a house.
Okay.
He bought a house.
Good reporting there. Good reporting there, Goldie.
Bought a Sprinter van.
Breaking news from the desk.
We gotta go. More to come on Game Changers when these two zip it, so we can get to the break because we got to pay some bills. We'll be right back from Kansas City. Welcome back to Game Changers. Mike Cugno alongside Kim Bokamper here in Kansas City. Yes, we're getting ready for that Dolphins-Chiefs game. Steve Goldstein back in our Miami studios. Guys, as we've heard all week, the wind chill could be like minus 30. Bo, you've played in some frigid, cold games. What's the coldest game you've ever been a part of?
So I played in a game, I think it was 1977, New England. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. The sky was as blue as I've ever seen the sky.
Yeah.
And it was 5 above zero. With a wind chill of 5 below zero.
Wow.
It was horrendous.
10-degree swing.
It was horrendous. And in the second series, I was playing outside linebacker. I was lined up against the great Russ Francis. And after the ball was snapped, I said, Russ, I don't care who wins this game. I just want to get off this damn field. And he looked at me and says, I'm right with you.
I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. But it's funny, in the locker room this week, people were talking about it. What's worse, being hit or being the one delivering the hit?
Well, if you've ever played baseball, and you hit a ball off the tip of the bat, that's what it feels like every time.
Your whole hand's vibrating. Goldie, the Dolphins obviously have been dealing with injuries this week. They brought in some linebackers, Bruce Irvin, Justin Houston, Malik Reed. They all say they want to play, but in your mind, how realistic is it that we see them contribute this week in a big spot?
Well, first of all, I'm very insulted. I had a big touch football game on East 98th Street in Brooklyn when I was a kid, and it was like 18 degrees. You didn't ask me what the coldest game was. I'll tell you what, it's interesting. They are so banged up at those rush positions, it's actually very sad that not only Chubb and Phillips, but then we lose Van Ginkel and Good and Baker. So in come these guys off the street. I'll tell you this, if there's a position, Bo, you can talk about this better than I can. If there's a position where you can kind of fill in and walk in and play a game, that may be one of them. Just, contain Patrick Mahomes. These guys are veterans. Vic Fangio knows them well. And how motivated are these guys going to be? What an opportunity.
My guess would be if you line them up on a running back or on a tight end, they're going to go right to them.
Yeah.
Because I believe one of those guys they re-signed when they ran his 40-yard dash, they had to use a calendar. These guys are old and they're out of shape. I don't know. I don't like the idea of Travis Kelce running down the field with one of those guys grabbing his belt and dragging his feet behind him to slow him down. It's just me.
All right, Goldie. By the way, when you said the position,
those guys haven't played for 17 weeks.
This guy almost jumped through the camera to wring your neck on that one. All right, we got more to come on Game Changers. We'll wrap this up. What's trending when we come back? All right, let's wrap things up here on Game Changers. Goldie, Christmas arrived in January for our boy Kim Bokamper, Bill Belichick, no longer in the AFC East.
I could have waited another year.
Why?
Because I'd like to see him lose. I'd like to see him have another 3-win year, 2 or 3-win year. I'd like to see that puss on the sideline when he's only winning 2 or 3 games. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And now you lose Nick Saban at the same time. Oh my God, I couldn't be more happy. I couldn't be more happy.
It was a big news cycle for you.
2 of my most hated coaches are gone out of the business now.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Most hated, because as someone who grew up with the whole Saban thing, I never got why people are so mad. It's a business.
2 coaches that have the worst personalities in the world.
Depends on who you're asking. Goldie, should Dolphin fans still be mad about the whole Nick Saban thing?
No, it's time to get over it, man. We got Mike McDaniel, and Saban is a genius. He got out just in time, all this NIL stuff. He's not going to be able to recruit the same way. It was a perfect call by Nick Saban, and it's time for Dolphin fans to get over it. It happened a long time ago. Get over it, Bo. Move on.
No. I won't.
He was celebrating this week. Now he's going to call you when we get off the set here
and yell at you
and chew you out
for
having Saban's back. You know what I hope? I hope they get together and go coach somewhere together. Wouldn't that be awesome? I think they still got a little bit in the tank. All right, guys. Obviously, big game tomorrow.
Yep.
Dolphins and Chiefs. We look forward to it. We will be bringing you all the pregame stuff. Dolphins Weekly live on CBS Miami at 6 Eastern time tomorrow night. Get ready. Steve Goldstein, thank you so much for taking the time from the tanning bed to come and hang out with us. Bo,
stay warm, fellas.
Thanks for making out here with us.
Does he use one of those things?
He had the reflectors going.
I use tinfoil, man. Tinfoil and oil. That's it.
All right. Goodbye, Goldie. Goodbye, Goldie. We'll see you when we get back to Miami. Thanks, everyone, for watching our first televised Game Changers.
How about that?
We'll see you next time.
Maybe the last.
Maybe the last, yeah. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.